Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Keep playing hard. Ready? And read. Mike, 49. Hey, tight.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. They'll run on first down. Grant, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They will run with Grant. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
49, guys. Mike, 49. We ain't giving him nothing to do. 49's the Mike.
From the 39, Jackson. He's going to air it out deep for Green. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
On the ground, it's Thomas. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
41 Mike. Hey, let's get in them holes.
I'll go special.
On 3rd down, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 53 yards.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on first down. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much, maybe a yard, and that's all. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here we go, here we go.
This is Carson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now Wilson to throw on 3rd down. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Carson. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 17.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They run with Thomas. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And some room to maneuver. Accelerating, and off he goes. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 75 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Let's go, let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He's got Lockett. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Now Wilson on 1st down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The Bengals drive about to get going. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On 2nd and 1, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson, and able to find Green. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. line of scrimmage. Again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. Yeah, he'll find Hall. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
They go play action now. Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just did. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Bengals grab it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Here we go. 56. Mike.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. Green brings it in. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Jackson for the shotgun. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Bucky Hodges as the first half is winding down, and the Bengals have taken the lead. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they're
looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
We got this.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown miss. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, it's Grant. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. L.J. Collier in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
Mark 54. Mark 54. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. There goes a deep ball. End zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, playmakers. It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? Right. It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
14.
Check, Mike, 57. Check. 57. Mike, 57.
Now Wilson back into his end zone. Steps away to his left. Short throw to Disley. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Short throw to Disley. And they'll get him down short of the 1st down, right on the 10-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're going to get the 1st down here across the 15-yard line. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to take a shot right away from, and that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. as his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Evans. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Forced out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's Jackson. Going up top. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Aqib Talib, the veteran Pro Bowler, there to get a hand in, knock it away. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperate. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one good for 37 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Now it's Wilson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 10 yards out, and the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Airing one out for Boyd. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Aqib Talib, the veteran Pro Bowler, there to get a hand in, knock it away. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
I can't believe they even let you play. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Finding Green complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Go. Watch the flag. Motion. Pull.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjust.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 19, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not quitting. Let your team know you're going to battle all the way, and you're always hoping for that ultimate miracle that something will happen. You'll pick up the ball and score, and you'll have a chance one more time and maybe on an onside kick, but not likely.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Cincinnati, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.